Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's 10:29.
Oh, we have a minute to talk.
We take a breath. Good, Charlie Smith start, you're right. I'll wait till 10:30 for our friends in streaming video land. Here we go, 10:30. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Works. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, let's start with the approval of the minutes from the February 1st meeting. Those were presented. I think you were all here. Anything need to be corrected or?
I'll move the minutes are approved.
Right.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Welcome to all our visitors this morning. No reports as far as oral or written communications, no unfinished business. Let's go straight into new business, and we will start with the bid award for the 300 North Phase 2 project. Justin, I think you're going to present that this morning on behalf of Building and Plan.
Yeah, so at the last Board of Works meeting, we opened the bids for Phase 2 of the 300 North project. We took those bids under advisement, and in between the meetings, the Redevelopment Commission has approved the low bidder for the 300 North Phase 2 project. The bids have been reviewed and tabulated by Troyer Group. Attached is the certified bid tabulation for your review. The bid tabulation has been reviewed by the Planning Department and the Engineering Department. We recommend that the board approve the low bid by Finn and Brown in the amount of $1,880,359.30.
All right, so looks like that's been reviewed. It's responsive. James, you have a chance to take a look at that? All right. I think we were pleased with that bid as well. It seemed like it came in our favor, which is good. So, any questions?
I move to accept.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, second would be a road closure request for the Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams, Northern Indiana Lakes Festival. I think Dugan Julian is here to kind of go through. Looks like we've got a few events that day. There's a parade route, a 5K route, a festival route, so have at it.
Yeah, so last year was our 10-year celebration, and so we added a parade and a 5K in partnership with the Lake Games. Those routes have not changed for this year. They are the exact same routes. It went really well last year. We had a huge response for a first-year parade, and the 5K had a lot of attendees and made a lot of our sponsors really happy. The road closure officially that we're asking for is East Canal Street from Detroit Street to Buffalo. We use that for setting up our vendors to allow no pedestrian and cross-traffic issues, as well as for the parade termination route, which the new Buffalo Street Loop works beautifully for. As in the Twinkle Eye Parade, it went really well. So having the tractors and everything be able to go through the park and have the people there see it would be really neat too. So having that road closure start either Friday night around midnight, where I would be setting up the barricades myself, or very early Saturday morning, just to make sure that the food vendors who are coming in that morning and the entertainment vendors have access to the parking lots and have unrestricted access to set up on the street for my vendors, is what we'd be requesting. And that would run through Sunday at 5 p.m.
Okay. Are these times pretty much the same as they've been?
They are identical, yes.
Okay. So it's really a 3-day festival starting Friday evening and running through Sunday.
Yeah, We're not requesting Canal Street be closed off Friday evening because there's a concert. The concert ends approximately 9 p.m. and there's still people utilizing Canal Street through that.
Gotcha. So it's later that evening?
Right, it'd
Right.
be very late that evening or very early
11
Saturday
PM,
morning.
is that, okay?
11 p.m. would be perfect.
And then reopen on Sunday at 6 PM?
Yeah, we officially shut down the festival between 4 and 5,
Okay.
and then I want to give my vendors enough time to clear out their setups. That'd be perfect.
Joel and Chief, you guys have any concerns? I know you were involved last year with the parade, the 5K, and the closure. Any comments or questions or concerns?
You guys done really well in getting with me. We have been talking literally since last year.
Okay,
So the police department has no objections.
okay, all right. Mike? Okay, very good.
Mayor, will this interfere with the farmer's market on Saturday morning? Will they have to be notified to maybe move off the street?
Well, what time's the parade?
The parade would start at 10:15, conclude at 11. Last year, they did relocate the farmer's market for
Into
us.
the,
Into that parking lot area,
Yeah.
yes, that lot.
yeah, that's a good point. You'll have to notify them, or you'll have to talk to them.
Mhm. Absolutely, and we did that last year. They were very receptive to it. It
Yeah.
brought a lot of people downtown
right.
to set up for the parade, so they had no real objections, but
Okay, and
absolutely.
I'd ask that you contact them.
No,
And what-
absolutely.
One final thing too, Dugan, you said you have insurance coverage. Could we have the certificate of liability?
Yes, we fall under Grace College's umbrella, so I can get that to you. We are also looking at new expanded umbrella coverage for all events that Grace does to include the Lakes Festival, so
Okay.
that'll be even more comprehensive than it was last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay, great. Questions?
No, it's a great festival. I'll move to approve the street closing.
Second?
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, thank you. Hope the weather's great.
We're hoping so too. A little cooler than last year would be nice, though. Thank you.
No, I don't know.
Warmth sounds good right now.
Thank you. All right, we've got a couple, is there anybody here from housing? Oh, there's Pam. Hi, Pam. Come on up. We've got two releases, lien releases for home of your own repairs, Listen B and Patterson.
Yeah, one is just housekeeping cleanup, and the other one just completed its affordability.
Any questions?
No.
Is there a motion to approve the release of the liens?
Yeah, I move to approve both items 3 and 4 on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
I need 6 signatures.
How many?
There's 6, because there's actually 2 liens on one.
Okay.
Thanks, Pam.
Back. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, city engineer, Mr. Emmons, will present the Wildman Service Agreement extension or addendum.
What you have in front of you is an addendum to extend an existing contract for 1 more year. We asked Wildman to do that. A couple of years ago when we got their contract, we consolidated all of the departments. But one of our departments, the Public Works Department, had already entered into an agreement with another firm. And that contract terminates next year. So the idea is we're going to extend this one so we can consolidate the whole city into a common contract next year. So this extension is same pricing. They're willing to do what they've been doing. I've talked with some of the department heads. Everybody's very pleased with Wildman and the service they provide. So this is just an extension of the existing agreement.
So the idea is to line up the termination dates so that then we can bid the entire thing. You know, in the past, before we did this agreement with Wildman, each department was going out seeking their own, and we felt like it was more important to structure that as a citywide contract to make sure that the pricing was uniform. And Wildman's did a great job of consolidating all those departments except one. So, and again, I think there was a lag or an overlap in the contract period. So all this does is this evens us up, so next year we can go out and look at the whole thing. And at the same terms,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Makes makes sense. I'll move to approve the service agreement.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, James. All right, next, got some travel requests. Jennifer?
Yes, you have lots of travel requests, it looks like. Some of them are this month and some of them not until May, but fire, police, wastewater, street.
So road school is an annual. I think Jeff is presenting at road school this
You're
year.
correct. I believe he's the president, isn't he?
And fire, no, wastewater is going to a equipment show. Pumper, any comments on that WWETT conference?
The web show. It's just an annual show. It's in Indianapolis, actually an international show, but they'll have all the different equipment. They have some training classes, and it's a good show to see what's new and how to better use the equipment you have.
Okay. Scott, you've got a group going to drug enforcement conference, 3 guys, and then Greg Oberlin's going to looks like a one-day conference in Indianapolis.
Correct. The SRO training is just a continual education training, and then the drug conference is an annual conference, state of Indiana, that our officers have been attending for quite some time. It's paid for by the prosecutor, and we'll just have the meal expense and the drive down and back.
Good. Thank you. Chief Wilson, you've got several guys going over to Ohio for a heavy rescue, and then Max is going to Texas for a NFPA.
Correct. The heavy rescue class is done at Bowling Green, Ohio University. It's a great continuing education class that we send the 4 of them to. They come back and then it's a train-to-trainer type program. We come back and then they work with the crews with all the heavy rescue involving large vehicles and small, and machinery and industry. Max is going to, as a part of continuing education for him with his public information officer and public education. This is an NFPA conference. Actually, the conference cost itself is low. It's just getting him there and housing him while he's there. And it's done in San Antonio, Texas.
All right. Any questions?
I move to approve all requests.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Chief Wilson, the Narcan Rescue Kit grant. Sorry about that.
We're coming to you a little bit different than what it was last year. Last year, the health department took the whole program in communication with Mr. Weaver at the health department this year. His recommendation was either emergency responders, fire, police, and EMS, that either the sheriff's department or us, because we were part of it last year, in communication with the sheriff's department, they kind of asked that we house it. So I've come to you with this as a continuation. It's a new grant that we'll apply for. This went to the territory board. If it's approved by you guys and we get awarded the grant for the Narcan, then we will house the supply that we receive twice a year, and we'll be able to provide it to law enforcement and to EMS and firefighters throughout the county.
So basically, you'll act as a distribution point for the entire county.
Yes, sir.
And will those doses be at other fire stations, or will they all be centralized at our station?
They will be centralized at our station because it's a replacement. When we got the original grant last year, we and law enforcement, the sheriff's department, distributed that and the training to the fire departments in the county and to law enforcement. So as they use a Narcan on a victim, they will come to us. There's paperwork that the officer fills out, or Captain Beam fills it out for his road officers. We give them the replacement, and then we send that back to IU.
Right, so you really are auditing all of this?
Yes, we are.
And then replacing?
There's paperwork that's involved with it, and we have no problem overseeing the paperwork.
All right, any comment from you guys? You all good with that? The distribution works well? Okay, all right. All right, any questions? Is there a motion
Yeah,
to
I'll
take
move.
action on this?
I'll move to approve the application.
Second?
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, next item is the replacement of Squad 13-4. Just give a little bit of background, the fire territory is taking a little bit of different approach to speccing out and then bidding this out. There is a national bidding service that meets all the state bidding requirements so that they do the heavy lifting with regards to the bidding.
That's correct.
And, we still have to sit down and provide the spec, but then they take that spec and they've already bid out. It's the way I understand it. So it's like a cooperative purchase. It's kind of a bidding service that meets the state, a bidding service that meets the state requirement when we bid equipment like that. James, anything to add?
No, it's a great way to purchase equipment like trucks.
Street Department's been doing it for a while on certain items, and I just think this it saves the city a lot of time and money.
Correct.
There is a cost for this service.
Correct.
Okay, but we felt,
it outweighs what the man-hours that we put into it, even with the city engineer sitting down with our committee to look at all these specs as they come out. It's a win for the service, and it's a win for the community and you as the Board of Works.
so they've spec'd this out, they've contacted this company, and now they need to get the bid.
That's correct.
The price, and then this is not authorizing them to purchase, this is authorizing them to get the price, to kind of do that process. But it does not obligate us to purchase
That is
at this
correct.
point. It's
We don't
just-
have a final dollar amount. There was a dollar amount that was put in your budget for this year. Once we get a price back, it'll go back to the territory board, depending on what that cost is. And then if the territory board will discuss it, if they approve it, we'll move that process back through your board.
And this piece of equipment is part of a long-term strategy as far as equipment replacement. It's been on the equipment list, and I think this is the final major purchase for some time.
That it is, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
This most likely be funded out of the Fire Territory Equipment Replacement Fund.
Yes, sir. That's where
Which is
the
a
line
tax-supported fund.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it does not come out of the operational fund. It comes out of the separate Fire Territory Special Equipment Replacement Fund, of which there is a
33 cents,
33 cents,
or 0.3.
0.33.
Yeah,
a third of a cent
yes.
on the rate.
And
yeah.
we just reestablished that rate for this year.
Yep. Okay. Questions?
I move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? Again, this just authorizes you to seek that
That is correct.
bid.
And then we'll
and
go
then
through the process.
The actual decision to purchase will be at a later meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So Larry, you're going to talk about Carrie Ray and the Shaky Legs?
I am. These are these are all our Friday night Central Park concert series. Carrie Ray and the Shaky Legs. We had them in 2018, but they were rained out, so we'd like to bring them back to perform. This is being paid for by funds from the KCCF grant.
So all of these, we're going to consider 9 through 14. I assume they're all, I think I looked through and they're all funded through the Indiana Public Arts Commission grant?
Through them and the KCCF.
And the county
Yes,
foundation.
pay for all our Friday night concerts. So, like you said, they're coming back from 2018 rain out. The Hurricane Reggae Band, they're brand new this year. The Carrie Lynch is returning from 2017. Smooth Edge is returning from 2017, as well as the Bulldogs, the 50s and 60s music there. And then the Matt Sellers returning from 2017, they're from Mentone area. So the ones who are returning, we've had great responses and requests to come back. So,
that's been a really popular Friday night activity for our residents.
Absolutely.
They're really attended well, and the variety is the result of our ability to fund these through these grants. So
And our first one kicks off the Lakes Fest, so that's our first Friday night concert that Dugan was talking about on Friday night. So we partner with them to bring in a little more expensive act for that. But great series, we've been doing it a long time.
Questions?
Yeah, I'll move, we approve the park contracts 9 through 14.
Second.
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Good job.
All right, thank you. And then you've got actually permission to apply for the 2020 portion of that Indiana Arts Commission grant, which will do the same thing the following year.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got it ready to go. We'd just like your permission to apply for it. We're going to apply for the $5,000 amount. Last year, we received $4,090. $4,026 was the average in our area, so we were a little bit above that, just by the points we grade out on the grant. So we expect to apply for that again, and hopefully we get it, and we can continue the series with it.
So is there a motion to approve the application for the Indiana Arts Commission grant?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. The next item is the purchase of the JPJ Food Mart, which otherwise known as the gas station down on 15 at the entrance to Central Park. I know we've, Park Board put that high on their priority list to try and finally clean that whole area up and improve the park's entryway as well as potentially facilitate some more programming at the gardens. So we've been able to negotiate. The Redevelopment Commission approved the purchase at their meeting, and we're bringing the contract to the Board of Works for your approval. The price was the average of 2 appraisals. An appraisal of $150,000, appraisal of $155,000, the resultant purchase price of $152,500.
Yeah,
I think I stole your thunder,
No,
Justin.
you're fine. You can do that with the rest of them too, if you'd like. So yeah, as Joe just explained, we're pretty excited to have the opportunity to purchase this property that's been declining for a few years now. It's been sitting vacant, so we took the average of the 2 appraisals per, state law, and that came to $152,500. So we'd like Board of Works approval to pursue that contract and purchase the property to help make improvements to Central Park.
Scott, any changes on that contract since redevelopment? It is what it is?
It is what it is.
I move to accept the contract.
I'll second that.
The only other thing I'd offer is, again, I'd mentioned that the Parks Department had vetted this particular project as a part of that entire Central Park redevelopment strategy. We went through multiple public meetings, public hearings, and talked about all the things that are happening down in that area with the Buffalo Street project. You might have noticed that the NIPSCO substation, they are actively working on relocating that, which will eliminate the current substation. So a lot of the things that we anticipated happening, including the ability to purchase this gas station, are now coming to fruition. And I think having the support of the public and the Parks Department board, to me, justifies what we're doing. And I know I've gotten a lot of calls from residents who are really pleased that we're able to finally get this done. So with that, is there a motion to approve?
It's already been made.
It's already been
That's
made.
right, it's been seconded, we made comments. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, we've got some pay applications. The first one is the Buffalo Street pay app. This is,
So this is on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority.
Selge.
Just pay application number 10, in the amount of $2,195.99, and that's for the Buffalo Street project.
It's
Go ahead. You have a
it's
question?
actually pay application number 33 for the Huntington.
It's number 10, but
For
for
your
the construction,
records, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
33 overall, but yeah, they listed it as number 10 on their document too.
And city engineer has reviewed the request and approves that that work has been done. So Any further questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, next item is the Market Street project pay app. I'll let Lynn, you decide what number this is. I believe it's number 1. It's construction engineering. It's a small $4,600 check, subject to the 80/20 grant.
It is number 1.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, this is the Market Street pay application. There's also included the LPA voucher from the state that will cover 80%, so that 80% number would be 37, 25, 48. So yeah, just seeking Board of Works approval to approve that pay application and the LPA voucher.
So again, this is for, not for construction, but for construction engineering.
Correct.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. All right, Justin, you've got a grant you're going to apply for through Indiana State Department of Health.
Yeah, so the last item I have today from the planning department is a grant from the Indiana State Department of Health. It's a up to $10,000 grant that we would hopefully use to add a bike lane on Fort Wayne Street. The bike lane project on Fort Wayne Street has been reviewed by the Traffic Safety Commission. We've also had a public meeting to discuss it with residents in that area. So we're hoping to move forward with that project this summer, but we're always looking for opportunities to, leverage funds we do have and bring additional funds for projects like this into the communities, because we feel it does benefit the community so much to have things like this, different amenities to improve safety along roadways for cyclists and motorists. So any opportunity we have, we see from the state to pay for some of these projects, we'll try and get those. So
Indiana Department of Health was who supported and funded our initial ride walk master plan. It gave us a $50,000 grant. Oh, gosh, it's been 6-7 years ago. So State Department of Health is very interested in outdoor recreational type of opportunities, and I think this goes right along with that.
I move to approve the request.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks, Justin.
thanks.
Good luck on that grant. All right, next item, Chief Whitaker, 2019 DUI Task Force.
Or Captain B.
Or Captain B.
All right, on September 21 of last year, the police department requested approval to apply for a DUI task force grant, also an Operation Pullover grant. Just received information that we were awarded some monies for that. For the first one would be for the DUI task force. We were awarded $7,000 would be our part. We're requesting permission to participate and accept the money. All the funds are non-matching, as in years past.
Questions?
No, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And then item 21 is a similar process for a slightly different grant.
Correct. This one's for Operation Pullover. It'll have off-duty officers go out and increase our patrols for traffic and enforce traffic safety. For this grant, we were awarded approximately $8,000. Again, it's non-matching funds.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Just want to, I think Craig Alaba, Town of Winona Lake, typically takes on the responsibility of applying for the grants, and appreciate, I think he does it for the entire
He does.
county.
Yes, he does.
So this is kind of a countywide grant that this is our portion.
Correct.
So, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joel. All right, item number 2, there's a request to take no action. Evidently, the information that was submitted was incorrect, so I'd ask that we take no action on this item.
Need a motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. So then let's move on to the Canal Street sewer bid, project bid, the rejection of that bid.
Yes, James, we reviewed all the bids. They came in, they were good bids, accurate. We just felt that the cost for that project was probably above the value that we would get from it. That sewer serves the seasonal restroom kind of at the southeast corner of the Central Park. And then it served the gas station that we are in the process of purchasing and probably tearing down. Then it serves the pavilion. And we've come up with some other options to service those two restrooms. And in the future, if the Parks Department needs a drain there where the current gas station is, we have an option for that as well. We think we've come up with a much less expensive way to service those two restrooms. So we're just requesting that we reject these bids. They were above the engineer estimate.
You're quite a bit above the engineered estimate. And so what you're saying is that you're finding a more cost-effective way
Yeah,
to
we're
handle the concern. Excuse me.
Kudos to you and James for recommending that we reject the bid, and I'll move we reject it.
Second?
And it was all the bids, correct?
Yeah,
yes.
All right.
reject all the bids.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Item 24, SRF number 7 claim for $97,000. I assume this is engineering on the new plant?
Yes, there's actually 3 bills for Westler 789, and it's really kind of, they were sitting on some of their billing until we got through the SRF loan approval and
I see.
and closed on that loan so we could pay through the SRF.
So I assume we could consider those 3, item 24, 25, and 26. They're all engineering bills for the plant expansion service, SRF 7, SRF 8, and SRF 9. First one is in the amount of $97,277. Second one, $1,232. And then the third one, $26,687. And they're all similar services for the new plant, correct?
Correct. Through engineering and then bid assistance through the bidding process and evaluating all the bids is what most of those bills are for.
All right, questions?
No, I'll move to approve all 3 of the Westler engineering pay applications.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Brian, can you just give us a quick update on construction, what you're hearing and what's been happening to this point with regards to our plant expansion project?
Yes, their official notice to proceed is February, is it 25th, a Monday, I believe. That's their official notice to proceed. They have been in this week, setting construction trailers and getting the parking areas set up. They will hit the ground running that Monday. We are in the process. We have a camera that's been installed at the plant, and we're going to work through with the company that was at OxBlue that you guys approved, and we can actually put a link on the city website, and anybody in the city can click on that link and check out what's going on at the plant and how the construction's progressing. And so we're excited to get started.
Moving.
Probably more excited to finish, but
Is that the camera we get to keep then?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah, good.
it's pretty neat. I've got access to it right now, and it'll be a nice feature.
Again, as far as that construction timeline, the anticipated completion is it July of
It's
2020?
a 22-month process, so it's towards the end of 2020
Okay.
is the actual completion date. We have some milestones they have to meet because we have our phosphorus limit that kicks in like May of 2020. So there's a few things they have to reach prior to that, but our final completion is September or October of 2020.
So I noticed in your year-end report that we ran at 99% capacity this past year.
Yeah, we were up over 100%, and then December was relatively dry, and that dropped us to the 99% for the year.
Do you have any anticipation of problems over the next, during the construction period of potentially hitting a capacity issue?
We don't, we've sort of staged, certain things have to be built before they can take other things offline, so hopefully that eases the amount of pressure on the big things. When they take our aeration tanks down, that's where everything really happens, and so they have to have the primaries done before they can take one of those down to ease the pressure on the aeration tanks. And so we're working with the contractor and the engineers and ourselves trying to walk through this. It'll be interesting.
Have you seen, and I don't know how you can tell, but with the lining projects that we've been doing, has it appeared to have impacted the I&I? Can you tell? Is there a way to tell that? Probably
I don't know
not.
if there's a way to tell it for sure. I haven't noticed a substantial difference, or maybe a little difference.
Yeah.
Typically with the pipe lining, you get your most benefit when you actually start lining laterals as well, and those are private in the city.
I see.
That's where
So that's where a lot of that's coming in as well. Okay.
Typically what happens is we go through and we'll line all of the main lines, and the groundwater may actually come up a little bit, and then it'll find a new place to enter if the whole system isn't sealed.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks. And speaking of that, item 27, we'll take these individually. This is SRF pay 28 on the large diameter rehab.
Yes. The large diameter, I believe, is just about finished, or is finished with this. It's real close to being finished. So this should be one of the last for the large diameter. The small diameter through Lane has half a dozen lines left, but we've asked that they not do those until the asphalt plant's open, because they all involve some sort of a spot repair where they'll have to tear up the asphalt, do a small repair, and then line it. So we didn't want to have to keep it filled with stone or something through the winter.
So let's consider this pay app 6 through SRF, pay 28, and whatever Lynn prefers, we call it.
I got both of them, thanks.
In the amount of $893,304. And again, this is the lining of the large diameter pipes. Is there a motion to take action?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion?
I'd just like to point out, related to your comments, Mayor and Brian, and correct me if I'm wrong, great steps with the liners and then the expansion of the plant, how big this is, but related to what the mayor's saying, are you seeing any difference? If I remember right, how big this is, we're only covering about 15% of all of the infrastructure.
Right,
And so
and
there is
this-
a lot more to be done. Help me out here. That's, okay, more to be done.
There's a grading scale when we go through our system, and everything is graded essentially from a 0 to a 5.
5, right.
And these lining projects and replacement projects mainly just took care of the 5s, which is a failed condition. So there's still a lot of 4s that are really, which are bad also. And so that's our goal then with our annual budget, is to keep working on those 4s, investing in that infrastructure, so that hopefully we don't ever have to come back with another huge multi-million-dollar project to.
That's what I wanted to point out, and again, it's the realities and an appreciation I have as a council member that steps are being taken by the administration to do the right thing that has needed to be done and will have to continue to be done, and it probably won't be cheap, so,
No.
but has to be done. So, thanks, Mayor.
All right, item 27, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And then I assume same with the item 28, which is similar pay application, other involves the smaller diameter pipes, $405,402. Again, these are all SRF disbursements.
I move to approve that one as well.
I will second that.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thanks,
you.
Brian.
Thanks,
I know you're gonna
Brian.
have a busy year.
Yeah.
Brian, don't run off, you might have to do some explanation on the next item too. Please.
Special claims, there's a $515 easement fee for Rosella Ford.
So this is, if you're at all familiar with that area, the Ford Lane area, there's a water issue where it's running about the fifth house up, and they have sump pump that runs all the time. Well, that ultimately drains out into the street and runs down the street and causes a big ice problem all the way down the street, and then sort of puddles down at the bottom of the hill by that first house. And so this project is going to put a line essentially through their backyards and then drain there at that ditch by in the golf course. So we need a small easement from the golf course, and they requested this $515 payment for that easement. And then everybody would be allowed to hook their sump pumps into that pipe, and it'll alleviate that safety problem. It's really bad through the winter because it ices. I'm sure Warren could speak to that. It's been ongoing for years. The previous superintendent had thought about completely rebuilding that road and putting in a storm sewer. There's no plans in the near future to rebuild that road, and that would be a very expensive project, and this is a much more economical way to fix that problem.
Brian, that's, I'm looking on my map, that's that short shoot Ford Lane area?
Correct,
Is that where that
right
is?
there at Rosella
Okay.
Ford. And
Yeah, I see it, okay. Thank you.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the easement fee for Rosella?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thanks, Brian.
All right, and then final, the claims docket. I assume you've all had a chance to go through that.
Yeah, haven't seen anything.
Is there a motion to take action on that?
I'll move we approve the claims docket.
Second.
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, any other items to come before the board? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you.